Hello friends, so today I'm going to make homemade pizza just because one, we can't get things from outside and we generally do not get things from outside, and also because this one will have no fat in it, but definitely today I'm adding a little bit of yeast in it, which I normally do not, and it's going to have lots of vegetables on top. But for now, I took about 2.5 cups of whole wheat flour, as you can see. Took this much amount of rock sugar, not the white sugar, but it's rock sugar, so it's not so refined, and about half a teaspoon of yeast, then some salt, that was rock salt that I sprinkled on it, and then about 1.5 cups of warm water. So and I also added some cumin seeds, some carom seeds, some dill seeds to it. Whatever seeds and herbs you want to add. You could also add cilantro or parsley to it to give it a little bit of flavor, rosemary. Do whatever. All of these are very good antioxidants and they're needed in very small amounts in our body, but they do a lot to build our immunity. So once I've got the dough ready, we'll set it to rise for about 10-15 minutes, and then I will show you what we do next. As you can see, my dough is ready, and some of you may be much better than I am in making the dough with hands. Some of you may have machines to make it, so do whatever it takes to make your dough. And now I'm just going to leave it covered for about 10-15 minutes so it can rise a little bit, and then we will go with the next step. Okay, so 5 minutes later I said I'm an experimental cook, and here's what I'm going to add. So I went and chopped up some cilantro, and so now my dough looks something like this. It has some cilantro. I disturbed the yeast while it was trying to rise the dough, but this is how I cook, if you wanted to get a glimpse of that. Boy, oh boy, my dough has risen, and now I'm going to just roll it out into 4 balls and start going from there. Okay, so for our pizza toppings, here's what I have. Some Brussels sprouts, onions, carrots, mushrooms, and bell peppers. And I've sprinkled some salt and pepper on it. And then I've prepared a dressing, which is really some garlic. Where is it? Garlic. So I've taken 3 pods of garlic. Then I took some lemon juice in this. I added soya sauce to it, 2 tablespoons, and I'm also adding some coconut and pineapple fruit smoothie. It says that you could add coconut water or whatever, but really I'm avoiding. And I also, so my garlic was really just scraped from here, and once I mix it all up nicely, there, I think it's nicely mixed, and then I go on it. There's my sauce that goes on it, and I'll nicely mix it up. Then it will go right into my oven, which is heating up at 425, and this dish happily goes in here. It's a Moroccan tagine, but you could also definitely stir fry it on the stovetop. So here you see my vegetables. They are in the oven, and some of them are getting nice and brown and steamy. I'm waiting for them to get a little soft. I keep giving them a stir every 10-15 minutes. Just see, there's a lot of water still over there. Once they get a little softer, then I'm going to open it up and let them brown up a little bit. But if you're just doing it on a stove top, then you can just keep on stirring them and they will get nicely browned. Now my vegetables are soft and they're also turning brown. Look at that. So I'm just going to leave it open for about 5 to 10 minutes and maybe even raise the temperature to 450, and then they'll become nice and brown. So generally what you would do on top of the pizza base is this tomato base of some kind. You could also make your own tomato base with just tomatoes, garlic, and ginger, onion, whatever paste. But here's what I am going to do. So I made these beans. They were cooked. They were first soaked overnight and then just cooked in a lot of vegetables and ginger, onion, garlic, turmeric, and salt. So I'm going to just take a little bit of those and put them in a bowl, and then I'm going to nicely mash them up. Let's see how much. So depending on how much pizza I have, the pizza base, I'm going to take about this much, seems right, and then I'm just going to mash it up. So nicely mashed like a sauce, and once it's mashed up, then it will go on top of my pizza base. Alright, so here is my nicely risen dough. I have kneaded it a little bit, and here is a little dough ball, and there I've made the flatbread. It's on my pizza stone, and here is my lovely sauce that I am going to now spread over the pizza. There, just getting nicely spread. So something that can be nice and thick, I added a little bit of hummus that I had made at home. So it's anything that can make it a little thicker. You could have added, if you have a nice blender, you can blend some sweet potato or even just chickpeas into it. There, and now look at my vegetables. They are so colorful and they're so nicely roasted. I'm just going to spread it out on here. There, it's getting nicely spread. There you go. Oh my goodness, it's looking so beautiful. I am very proud of myself today, because every time I make it, it's not like I'm a very professional chef. I'm just experimenting, and I'm just so proud of my achievement. So then I put one in here, and I think it's coming out as a really nice pizza. Oh my god, I can't wait to see the results. I love this vegetable. Look at that pizza. The most amazing pizza I've ever made. I can vouch for it. I've taken a few bites from there, as you can see, and it is nice and crispy. So why don't you give it a try and find out what's the best thing that works for you. How did you make something like this with vegetables, without oils and packaged ingredients, and share with everyone? So you just saw that we roasted the vegetables, we created a pizza, we created a pizza base, and we put it in the oven, and we got our pizza done. It does look pretty darn good to me. Here it is. But that doesn't mean that you have to do the whole thing. So if you could just create the roasted vegetables or stir fry them in water with the marinade that we made, then have it with rice or have it with pita bread, have it with your own homemade made flatbreads, that's okay. If you want to just make the pizza base that we made, which was really beans that had been soaked overnight and boiled the next day with some herbs and spices like ginger, onion, garlic, salt, and pepper. Go to town with whatever you want to add to that, cumin, coriander, and have that as your soup. I also, in all of this that I was making, I also created a lentil and wild rice soup here. So this was really just soaked lentils with wild rice, and I just put ginger, onion, garlic, um, and salt and pepper and some red chilies, green chilies, and spinach. And just boil it in water, no oil. So the idea is to try and have as much vegetables, try and reduce or eliminate oils and fat. But you could have that as a side dish. You could start to move on to making that as your main dish. Take as many small steps as you like. You don't have to be overwhelmed with everything. So I do look forward to listening to you and getting your comments or whatever. And thanks for watching my raw footages.